My name is Heather White, and I'm a life coach and a public speaker. I actually got started in coaching kind of through the back door. I was working in corporate sales. I had sort of done all the external things that I'd been socialized and conditioned and raised to do. I went to university, I graduated, I got this great job, but I wasn't happy. I started to talk to people being like, I'm not happy, you're not happy too, right? And they'd be looking at me like, what is wrong with you? Yeah, I'm fine, I'm great. And my girlfriends were still like working in bars and restaurants, and they were looking at me saying like, you've got this great job, what do you mean, what's wrong with you? I stumbled across personal development and life coaching kind of by accident. And at first I was highly resistant, and I was one of the most sort of like cynical people, and it absolutely changed my life. And I think when something affects you that deeply, and you learn something that really alters the course and the trajectory of your life, it's almost like you can't help but want to share that with other people. And so that's essentially how I got started doing this. For me, my passion in this is really about two things. It's about inspiration and it's about freedom. Inspiration to me means in spirit. It's like as if there is something inside of you and in me that seems to almost like nudge you from within towards what I think is ultimately the potential that we each have in this particular lifetime. And freedom, like liberation, is giving yourself permission to sort of acknowledge and honor that path. There's this concept like, when I'm motivated, then I'll take action. And my experience and perspective of it is motivation is kind of like a wave. You have to paddle into it. You actually have to start moving forward, and then it seems like you kind of catch it. And so for me, the quickest way is to figure out what is the action step that is going to be, it's going to be scary, but it's not going to be traumatic. Right? Because a lot of times, especially when we're talking about living your dream life or living your dream career, it's so big for people that it's like, oh my gosh, all these things that I'm going to have to do, and all these steps I'm going to have to take, and all this, courage I'm going to have to muster. And really, it's not. It's that idea of like, if you got in your car in New York City and wanted to drive to Los Angeles, all your headlights show you is like 150 meters in front of your car. I think one of the big challenges that ended up being a wonderful blessing for me was the awareness that I'm actually not responsible for my clients' progress, that is actually their responsibility. And as the oldest of 4 kids, as a high achieving sort of recovering perfectionist, it was something that was hard for me in the beginning because I took so much on in terms of their ability to progress and move forward in their life. And I struggled a little bit in the beginning, especially with like, where is the line for me about where I show up and where I offer, and then when do I pass the ball and when is it their turn? There's so much variety in what I get to do, and that's something that I love. For me, I have to be in practice because I think I can only offer who I am. That's really what I show up to, especially to coaching sessions. So being in my personal practice is something that's really important. If I'm in Palm Desert, which is one of my favorite places, it's often like a hike, to some like beautiful mountain view. If I'm at home in Vancouver, it's usually to the beach 9 times out of 10, and just sort of chill out for a bit in the morning. And then as well, just like my own personal care practices around like eating well, sleeping well, like just some things that I know really make me have the capacity to really be able to show up for people. And then from a coaching perspective, like I actually operate my whole business virtually now for the most part, except for sort of VIP one-on-one intensive days where I'm in person with people. So I'm on the phone a lot. And it's so funny because, as a teenager or whatever, that would be something my mom would be all, angry, or I would be restricted for phone time, whatever. And I think it's hilarious that I've grown up and created a life where basically I talk on the phone all day. And it's perfect because I love to talk. I love to connect with people. For me personally, I'm genuinely curious. And I think listening is more than just words, right? Like I am always hearing something sort of underneath it all. And I've learned, for me, like courage is something I'm asking my clients to be. And as a coach, I think it's important for me to be courageous. And so when I'm listening, when I hear something, when I have an inkling about something, I'm courageous enough to push on that place for them. And the number of times that is the exact sort of moment of transcendence, of breakthrough, of sort of like enlightening. It's again, to me, it's like this is an intuitiveness that's coming through me, not from me, that I'm listening with my whole being, not just my ears. And how did I develop it? I don't know. I don't know if I always had it. I don't know if it was in me and it's just become a gift that I've honed, or if it's just strictly the fact that I've done it for so long that it's just I'm in really good practice.